Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the domination that is going to happen in this Manor Lords retinue. I don't know what you want to call it, but welcome yourselves back on in, guys. As you can see, we got some basic infrastructure set up in the last one. 6 housing, beautiful looking as well, and we got the farm kind of stuff set up, but we're going to leave it fallow for this year and hopefully rely on the berries. Now, there's one thing we're having issues with, and we've got 1 month of fuel. We do have the Woodcutter's Lodge in now, and that should continue to work. And one thing I did realise is we are actually missing certain things. So when we disbanded our military, it's probably a bad thing to do. We actually only have enough. We lose the spears and shields along with it. So at the moment, we don't have an army to spare. We can remake it and have 9. So that's all we've got at the moment. And that'll be fine. We'll deal with that if we need it as well. But we need to keep a close eye on the map for bandit camps. And at the moment, we're okay. There are none. So we are fine. And we should be okay to keep going. But guys, I just want to say a quick thank you for joining me. Hit the thumbs up for me as it helps a massive amount. And subscribe if you aren't already, as I would love to keep going on all of this. And look at how we've kind of chopped down a lot of these trees. We're left with quite a bit. So I think we're going to move the woodcutters soon. Probably further in. I think we're in a position, yeah, we can. What's the issue there? Minus 10 planks. So that's because we're building something else. We got trees growing, actually, in this area, so I'm not going to bother. We should be okay. If we see it cutting down too much here, then we'll kind of reduce that as well. The more buildings we put in, the more firewood it's going to use, and it is going up now, so that's perfect. We've got to start prepping for the winter. And we have a 214 regional wealth now, so I'm going to go ahead and do the smart thing. Go to our hitching post and grab in. I'm going to order another ox. So hopefully we'll be able to get another one in on the hitching post when they come as well. All right, not enough stable posts. Build more hitching posts or upgrade one to a stable. Otherwise, some livestock may run away. Oh, you've only got enough for one. So we need another hitching post. Can you do anything with that then? Upgrade to a small stable. Okay, so we probably want to get some planks to do that. For the time being then, we'll probably just get another hitching post in. So if I just pop another hitching post there, at least we can accommodate the 2, and we'll get that upgraded later on. New mercenary companies available. We definitely want to do that, but I'm not sure what it means to us. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this in when we can. See, we disbanded it, but they are okay. We're going to keep the unit here because they're still at base. Oh, that's where the weapons were. Ignore me, I'm still stupid. We still have them. We're fine. Our stonecutters camp has completed now as well. We still have 5 stones, so we're going to hold fire on that. We are going to need some planks, though. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in as our next thing here. So we're going to begin to construct with the saw pit. We probably won't do loads. We'll just have it ready. And the saw pit is actually going to go next to this one as well. And make sure the hitching post gets priority, so next month we can get ours in as well. All right, hopefully this hitching post will go now. The wood is in. We just need the builder to come over. We don't have any really at the moment. We're hoping for a bit more birth of some kind or another family. I think we may need to accommodate something along these. So market food variety +1, homelessness -4 for previous. We should be okay. There is a refugee thing that you can get. We can grant a new settlers camp on another territory. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. We definitely don't want to do that. We're not ready for another settlement. Definitely soon though. And there's the firewood we finally got up. Being transported to our warehouse now, so that should be... Is that going here? Let's take a look. Firewood goes into here. Perfect. So we're accepting those goods inside of here. For now, we're not going to... So if you didn't know, you can deselect items that you don't want inside of here. Going to leave as is. We only have 1 family working this one at the moment. So that's fine. We've got the 3 working that one. Hopefully we'll have the same in the hitching post. I'm not sure whether we can do that just yet. We're still making the windmill and stuff over here as well, like previous. So we did set rebuild on these guys. So that's 4 wood. That granary is pretty costly, and that's where we need the 10 planks for. So we'll get that one going as well. And then we will be set up next year for the farmhouse. Now with the extra renown, we could potentially grab in and do what we wanted to do food-wise in some of these. I don't think food spoils, if I'm honest. So with it being July, that takes us to December now on food, and fuel doesn't quite take us in. We could get another one on the forager's hut, but that means we wouldn't get any building in. So I think I'll just chill on that one and make sure it is all good. Hitching Post has completed, so we should be able to get our second ox now. And there we go. We have 2 oxen on the go. So they should be transferring those guys out. They're transporting. We're still moving timber. So we've got 2 pieces left over here. So hopefully when they're gone, this bit will be clear. So we won't be using this just yet until we get into hunting, which I'm still going to rely on the berries for now, because that's what we're living off at the moment. I'm just going to make sure all of our houses have enough water supply as well. So if we just click on it, water access. They don't have the food store. What about you? You do. I don't think this marketplace quite reaches these guys. Yeah, there you go. So if you hover over when you're clicking on it, it doesn't reach either of them. And then we're going to need clothing at some point. So food variety, eggs and berries at the moment from that chicken coop. So over here, it's going to need its own marketplace, isn't it? I'm tempted, actually. Do we have a family living in there? We don't. So for the time being, that one's okay. The saw pit has finished, so I'm going to slow it down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to match this one. Probably just give it that space there. That should be fine. And construction resources do get refunded when you demolish. So I'm going to go ahead and demolish that plot. We're going to have that wood to build this house here. And that's actually going to fit for the marketplace. It's either that or a food stall. Can only hit certain amounts. I'm not sure. So if we just go on it, yeah, it's not distributing. So it does say there. So I'm not sure how many it can do. Should be okay though. We're looking good on fuel as well now. But either way, with our saw pit done, I think I'm going to do the old switcheroo here. And I'm going to assign 1 family to the saw pit. And we're going to try and get the 10 planks going. And that should help quite a bit with getting stuff done here. And there we go. Our approval is in 51% now. So we should start to see a little bit more population growth as long as we can get this up. So let's see what it takes to build a church. That's wood and that's planks and stones, so we should be able to do that. The tavern we can't do because we don't have the ale yet, so there's no point. Not sure whether we're going to need to bury those bandits that we killed, actually. They're dead in the field over here. They are still there. Interesting. That might be something we need to consider then. Guys, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be trying to drop a daily episode on this as much as possible. Editing permitted and all that type of stuff as well. And yeah, keep the tips coming if you have any as well. I really, really appreciate it. Hope you're loving our little town so far. Watch it for days. Now, with our extra renown here, the regional wealth, I think it's important that we go ahead and get some production chains for these guys. I'm not sure how well the vegetables do. They seem to take a little while. Chickens are pretty good because, yeah, it's only 15 wealth or renown it costs for that. Why do I keep calling it that regional wealth? Sorry. Goats are 25. Provides a passive yield of hides. Now, if we can get goats in a few houses, that could be pretty cool. But at the moment, I don't think I want to do it on these ones. I think these are going to be exclusively for, like, chicken coops and things like that. We're going to get one more chicken coop on that one. And that'll probably cover us for a good amount of passive foods to be able to get all this kind of doing it. So we can accommodate. It's going to be 6 eventually for upgrading on that one. So we should be able to get another family. And that's what we need, another family. And there we go. We have 2 lots of chickens now. So we've got like a little farmer's row. These could all 4 end up being chickens, to be fair. I'm trying to think what we do with the next houses here. There's no way of overlaying, by the way, to see fertility as far as I'm aware. So how you see it here is how it is. If that makes sense. So the only way I can see to do it is by physically clicking in. So all of this is buildable for okayness then. So I think housing here too. So let's do it. I think we're going to have a row across here. It's going to cost us a fair bit of wood, so we do need to be careful. But I want to plan another 2. I want them to be pretty big too. I don't think they need to be huge though, because chickens don't necessarily cost a lot, do they? That gives them room to do something else, yeah. I don't know if I want it so close to the market though. That'll do nicely. We'll get 2 more houses there. Then we're pretty much full and good for our first little housing area for this marketplace. And I think I'll bring a little bit this way as well. There we go. We're up to 4 months of fuel now. I am going to speed it up so we can at least try and get a bit of population in, because when I go into the armies, I would like to recruit more where possible, because we do have the weapons to accommodate. You know what? I think a marketplace based on how much we have can only do that many houses. Oh, it's probably because it's not populated, so it probably would have done that house. That's okay, we changed it anyway. We're learning, right? And these houses will go in, so we'll be in good standing. And all we can do is slowly increase this. So it is going up. I think based on, because we're not going to be able to do this yet, I'm going to put this as the lowest priority. I could even pause that, actually. Let's pause the windmill. Yeah, we'll have that one completely paused, and we'll leave it as is. I think that class has paused anyway. No, it's this one, isn't it? We want to pause the granary and put that low. I can have that on, and that should be fine. And then over here, we want the planks to go into the other stuff that we can upgrade. Obviously, it's August now, so we need food. We're okay. We're going to see the winter through, I think. What I might do is up that. We're going to get some eggs still through it anyway. And there goes our next house as well. I was just looking at what it takes to upgrade one of these bad boys whilst it's going. So it's quite cool, actually, because these require a next plot, and you need obviously the things here. But look, they can produce shoes. A burgage plot level 2 low. In order to upgrade, you just need to make them better. That would be the church level. We don't have clothing, but I'm sure that would bring it up as well, and that would get the happiness going. There we go. We got plenty of houses now, so we don't need to worry about that. So there's the low population growth, neutral approval. We just need this to go up, and the way we do that is by getting the planks for the church, which they're just starting to do that. When the logs come across, now the building's done, hopefully they'll get that going. I'm contemplating bringing a path up through here, actually, and I'm going to do that. So we're going to come through here, exactly where this one is. We're going to bring it in. I want this to curve a little bit more, though, actually, I'll be honest. I think I want that to come around the market. Like so. That's cool. We'll have that going through the middle. Yep, I like it. I may even eventually attach this up too. But they do typically favour the roads, I'm noticing, as they're walking around. How are we looking here? 4 months of fuel. We're in August. So at the moment, we're going to get through to December. It's slowly going up. I honestly just need the logs. There we go. So we can start working on the saw pit now. It's going to take a little while. And it's all based on how fast they can transport stuff. I've just realised, though, we have no one controlling the granary here. I'm half tempted. We don't have any building to do. Other than this here, the windmill, which is paused. I've cancelled the other one. So what I'm going to do is actually get another person in the storehouse. And what we want is all of these. I love that you can click that and it shows you where they are. We want effectively to get as much transportation with these oxen over to our places as we can. That construction should be paused, so it doesn't matter. We don't need that windmill this year. All right. Excess goods needs to be moved. What's the issue here? Oh, we got planks. We have planks, baby. Right, I'm actually going to go ahead and get the church. Oh my god, it's huge. Okay, where do we want this? I know we've got not enough goods. Can you not place it until we've got it then? At the moment, we don't have enough. We got 10 stone and just the 5 planks, so maybe we need to wait. Oh, that could fit really, really nicely just here. I don't mind a bit of this because I plan on moving the logging, as I say, just a little bit more over once we're larger. We've got a bit more scale to us here. All right, food is currently at 10 months. I might even free up this one person in here. 10 months of food takes us well into when we're going to be able to forage again, doesn't it? Let's do that. Oh, what's this? To grow herbs. Add a herb garden. That costs 25 regional wealth and 2 planks. That's cool. That's something for later then. I won't do that just yet. We're just going to enjoy everyone as they do their thing over here. Love how it's slowly building. There he is with his saw. The amount of thought that must have gone into each animation. Absolutely crazy, man. Things I love to see. Honestly, there's a lot of thought gone into it, isn't there? You bringing the logs over? I'm not even sure where they're pulling those logs from. We still have a bunch out here then, I guess. I think it's time to order in another ox as well. So the idea is to get as much transferring across as we can. We need to upgrade this, though. So I'm going to upgrade to a small stable so we can fit them. And I'm going to get that to the highest. Hopefully we'll get that built right now. We'll get our first stable in. Look at that in the background. Alright, we have a new bandit camp now. So what we're going to need to do is try and focus this down. So how many do we have? Quite a few. And how far are they from us? a little bit further away. The problem is they'll keep stealing your resources as you play. So we will need to deal with them. They are a problem. The planks are coming in really nicely now that we're traveling everywhere across. All the logs sat in here. Hopefully it's nice and quick so they can transfer them. Looks like because they're chopping down inside of here, though, all of the logs that are still out in the forest here, they're still bringing them back. So we don't even need the logging camp for ages, actually, because it looks like we cut a whole bunch down. They just hadn't moved them across. And there it is. We now have a little stable. So this can hold 2? Yeah. Perfect. So we should have enough for our oxen, which we now have 3. So that means we should have 3 that move around. So if we hold tab here, there's a trader coming in over there. We've got another one coming here. The only thing I don't like about this tab is you can't see bandits. Yes, we have 6 families now. Perfect. So, food for 8 months. We're in September. The berry's still good. Let's get a few more just in case. And then let's also see. We can't do any more. That's fine. We haven't got enough yet. We will have. We're going to need to up our firewood, though, for sure. So I'm going to do that and make sure they're going. Because we're not building anything at the moment. Now the post is up. Still don't need that stone. We're fine. We definitely want to try and get into some of our own weapon crafting or armor crafting, though, to make our one army a bit stronger. But I think by having 2 families in the Woodcutter's Lodge, we can really ramp up this here. So I want to basically get enough for to get through to April. Although we should... To be fair, we don't need to worry about a surplus, right? They'll keep cutting in the winter, I hope. We'll see. We shall see. Let's have a look. So we're covering that new house over there. So we're getting food across. Perfect. So we got food in those, but no one in it. Plenty of fuel as well. So we're looking really, really good. Okay, we're up to 18 planks. I really want to get this church done, so I'm going to make sure we're good on that one. And there we go. We have enough. So let's go straight in and let's get our wooden church set up. Are we decided on this? Or do I go over here? Marketplace and church would be pretty cool over here. Oh, it's a tough one. I think I want it here. Yeah, church is going here. So that's going to take some doing. I'm going to make sure that is high priority. And that is all of our stone gone once that's in. I'm hoping that reaches all of these. It should do. And then we'll need to consider a second well. But that should bring our population growth up a good amount, he says. Let's enjoy this a little bit, though, as they go around. I love how you can kind of, like, swing the camera and it carries on moving. To do, like, real cool cinematics. It's so good. You gotta admit, that is just amazing. Right, guys, we're into September, so we're in autumn now. So what we need to consider is seasonal resources are gone, firewood consumption doubles in the winter, and lack of firewood might cause freezing. Sheep shearing is forbidden, so without clothing... we can't do too much. So we need to make sure we're on top of... Ooh, some births, and that families are getting bigger now, which is awesome. Someone's grown up. Yeah, we need to consider the firewood then, based on that. So, what have we got? 8 months. I might run the berries and keep us up to 8 months for another... Yeah, because harvest is still good. So we're good with berry harvesting until the end of November, then we'll do that. That's what we need to do. And there's our other oxen coming in. I can see it in the distance. That's really useful. If you zoom out and just press tab, you can see everything. So the one we ordered is on its way. There it is. I welcome you to the land of Wallbrand. Here it is, my new oxen. We're actually starting to look like a settlement somewhat now, I would say. Come on this way. Yeah, this is just too good. Oh my god, man. Right, perfect. That's going to help considerable amounts by getting everything distributed, including the wood into this. So that's the main thing. We need to make sure this is always full of logs. And that's basically what's transferring across, as you can see here. So warehouse workers working nice and hard to get all that done. We've got 2 families in there at the moment, so hopefully we can get that going. Now we do need to be careful of the bandit camp, which is going to have a problem soon. But not just yet. Wondering if a house can produce firewood of some kind from here. Oh, apple orchard in your garden. That's amazing. Takes 3 years. It's going to be a while, but that is really cool. How's the church coming along? Getting the items in there. Cool. We're still going on planks, aren't we? So what we're going to do now is pause the planks. Don't know if there's a quicker way of doing this, but I'm going to go back into a little bit of logging now to make sure we've got enough timber for the fuel. We'll make sure we're good there. What I am going to also do is take a quick look at administration and see what it takes to build a manor. So this is planks plus stone, but it does require the level of small village, which is us. So we need 2 level 2 burgage plots, and I think the church is going to cause that growth to go. So we're going in the right direction then. We just need it to kind of come in. Let's go the highest on this one. We can watch them erect the church. Oh, look at that. I'm just pausing. I'm just setting up a little bit of a zone over here for when we start actually harvesting the wild animals. So we've just had a new family move in once again. So we now have 7 level 1 families. So we're actually in pretty good place. We've got space for 1 more, and we won't build until that point. So we're going to try and keep up with the flow of building nice and slowly. The remaining items are getting transferred into here. So we need 2 more planks and some stone, which they have just chucked in. So just 9 stone to go into the church. And we may then be able to see, look at this, we're up to 20 population, 21. Okay, so I think it's probably going to be time to enact another load of thingies in here. And I think I want to try and unlock the, what's it called at some point? I think getting a goat shed in one of these. We're going to try it. I'm going to try 2 goat sheds for hides over here. And we're going to start clothing production after this. And there it goes. They're starting to erect the church up here. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. A storm has begun, mind. We are officially into October. And we have our goat sheds now. So I wonder what the... I didn't really check, actually, what it costs to keep these. It just says a passive thingy. That's fine. It doesn't cost anything to have the goats, so that's pretty cool. I think they just roam free, though. How did you get out? We're seeing our church come in, though. The final bit. Just putting up the fence now, as you can see. And there is the wooden church. Okay, so for this then, we... Oh, church bell sound. I know there's an achievement for this. I'm going with that one. All right. So church... I don't know what we do with this one. I think we're going to have to make sure there is a family in this one to level these. There we go. They should raise popularity here and kind of ramp us up quite a bit. So we're going to need another food store, another clothing store. And then these will probably be able to upgrade nice and quick. So that's good. There it is, the beautiful church. Absolutely incredible. So, let's take a look at the production chains then. So, uses hides to produce leather at the tannery. And where do we want to get this now? So, housing. I think I'm going to squeeze a couple of houses, smaller houses there. We're going to have a couple there. And I think I want a good amount of industry, maybe by the hitching post or over here. Now, that's going to affect our travel time, but I'm going to put the tannery over here. And I'll start that production chain so I can try and see where they are. I just want to point out, we're in October, we've only got 3 months of fuel, so rather than building soon, we're going to have to switch to that. We've got 9 months of food, which is good, but we did have to put someone into the church, so we need to consider that as well. I'm going to keep 2 people in the storehouse to keep it moving nice and quick. We might be able to turn off the logging once again soon. There's quite a few in store. Let's see how quick they build this one, though. The tannery is only 4 logs, so we can probably get into that. As I say, we're not going to have much. I mean, we've got 2 hides already, so we can start to get some clothing in. Ideally, we want that 1 more family, though. That'll put us perfect. And there's the tannery is already in. Wow. Good job, guys. So, we're not ready to do this. We kind of want 1 more family in. So, the church level is good. How do we level up the church here? It says church level. Not too sure on that one. All right, let's go ahead and plant a few more housing as well. So there's no harm in getting it planned, right? I think I want some small houses. I'm going to keep that little bit open because I think I want a pub maybe in here. Let's go across here. This, we do want it to be big enough to have something. Let's do that around the road. And I'm also going to do the same to this point here.
Don't be shy, good sirs and ladies.
We're going to have another house there as well. So these two will cover this little section. So we've got our first row then, haven't we? And then this marketplace is obviously going to fill out eventually anyway when we've got more stuff. All right, we're officially on 61. So this is going to... Oh, winter is approaching. Oh, God. Are we ready for this? Maybe not. All right, we have 10 months of food now. So if we get another family in, that's obviously going to cause a problem, though, there, which we most likely are. So I'm going to leave that on for that tiny bit longer, and then I'm going to flip it over to here. So actually, we're not doing any building here. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we've got new mercenary companies available. Look at that. We have 14 in the Spear Militia, so it automatically fills. Nice. Okay, so we've got an army of 15. I love that. I love that. I'm so happy right now. We have 8 families, guys. So we have 1 spare. Anyway, that means we can still get the berries. Cool. I'm going to leave that running then. The fuel is going to obviously be a problem, so we need to make sure that all of these are in. We're also going to need more transporters, but I'm going to go with huge wood cutting here. And then we'll keep that logging going as well. And then we'll turn that off in a moment. So it has completely leveled this area, but it's building out where we are going to go. So that's really cool. So all we need now is the food, the clothing store supply. And I think once we get more firewood in, so starting the next year or in a moment, we should be able to then switch to getting in the tannery thingy going and then getting clothing on the go as well. So I think you need to be careful because they'll keep stocking this up. Permanent livestock assignment. Nice. I'm going to pause that. We don't want anything going to the saw pit. We need to ramp up the fuel because I think from now... No. From next month it's going to be a problem. So we need to make sure these guys gathering, felling a tree. I'm going to put a limit work area to there, actually. I didn't even realize you could do that. That is so good. So we can limit the work area. I'm not going to do it for the logging camp, though. All right, what I'm going to do now is turn off the forager's hut. I'm going to get all of these berries. So I've assigned someone to the granary. We're going to get this filled up. So they start going less travel distance to get to there as well. And then we'll work on everything else in a moment. So 29 timber, I think we're fine there. We're not building anything other than these houses. Got no builders to do them at the moment, though. Don't think they're going to manage to harvest this in time for this year. I don't know if you can tell them to harvest this one. Don't think you can. No, these guys are really happy over here. So these will upgrade if we get the clothing stall. As long as we get that, we are good. At the moment, though, we're just really struggling to get this fuel in. Although saying that, we have loads of firewood. I've got 3 families working it. But we've only got, I guess we've only got the 1 market stall. So it takes a little while to distribute. And there we go. The fuel is now at 4 months. That makes me a little bit happier. We are in December now, though. So fuel consumption officially doubles. We're going to have to see what happens. And let's just keep a close eye. So yeah, we still have 16 spear band militia. I'm loving seeing the hides kind of build up here. And look how gorgeous the autumn starts to look. Now, we're going to want to get the population to increase a little bit to get onto farms in the new year. That fallow field probably has come in pretty handy. Now, the only thing is, we're pretty good because we've got the ability to grab meat over here too. So we're pretty much going to be good for meat anyway, just from basic raw resources before the need to actually do that. Just wondering what we do in terms of grabbing. Let's take a look. I think the berries shrinking. All right, that's not on anyway, so we'll leave that. Berries will be disappeared in a moment, so yeah, one less thing to worry about. We'll probably get on to making the clothing afterwards. I'm hoping, though, we're good. So 9 months of food. Yeah, that takes us all for next year, pretty much. We're still going to increase on eggs a little bit from these two as well. Not sure if we're going to get any harvest from this. It would have been nice to see some vegetables, but that's absolutely fine. Haven't decided what I'm going to use on my next point yet for upgrades either. Look, a bit of snow coming as well. Oh my god, I'm so happy playing this game. Let's enjoy a bit of the snow in our town here. Can you walk right into the church? That'd be super cool. Let's have a look. No. Oh, can you imagine if one day you can go into each build? I know that is asking a lot because already for a single dev, it's better than most games with what you can do on the City Builder for like getting down. And I know it's early access. There's going to be loads of stuff to figure out, but I'm on about for like the fact that you can walk around, all that jazz. Pretty damn cool. So if I just hold tab here, we're going to see what's going on. So we've got 2 people transporting, 1 person on the gatherer, and then 3 chopping wood. Nowhere else. We're not even dealing with a hitching post. So I'm not even sure what that does, if I'm honest, when you assign it. I wonder how well the horse is compared to an ox. I wonder if that comes in handy too. I kind of want to reduce down our family to 2 chopping wood. I'm not sure if it's going to keep us enough fuel though. I'm loving the change into this snow. All right, we're up on this. So I'm going to reduce that down to the 2 families in the woodcutter's lodge. And I'm going to accept that fuel for 6 months. I think it factors in the double usage. If it doesn't, we still have 3. That takes us to March. That should be okay at getting these next houses done. And I think we're going to expect, so once these houses are in, we can expect to see maybe another family or 2 coming in as well. And there they are. I was grabbing some screenshots. I can't stop taking them. Here we go. So that should see, I don't know how long it takes or whether that isn't updating yet. It still says neutral approval, but at the moment we have 71. So yeah, plenty of fuel now. Okay, let's get something going. So let's go with unpausing this. Let's start the tannery. Let's reduce the woodcutter's lodge down by 1. And let's start making some clothing too. And there we go. There's the next family. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot now. So we're going to need to factor in food once again. I think what I'm going to do is start prepping the wild animals then. And we'll get a food store a little bit closer. We're going to need some kind of logistics. But that's fine. Let's get the hunter's camp. Maybe? Does it need to be overlaps? We don't want to do that. Let's go here. So we're going to have it just on the outskirts in this little section here. And then after that, because you're going to get hides from that too, that means we can keep our production of clothing going. And we've got 17 in the militia now. So I probably can go and take out the thingies, the bandits as well. We're not having too many problems with them at the moment because they are in another one here, but we may need to go across and deal with that at some point. And we are officially in January, so we are going to need to get the grounds ready. We can afford to get a family in the farmhouse now. Let's try and get one of these fields going. And I think we're okay to unpause this. That is unpaused. Yeah, there we go. We'll get that going, and we'll get the rebuilt on the windmill too. All right, I just want to point out, guys, we officially have our clothing store.
Firewood,
Oh, yes. Look at that. Hello, Mr. Clothier. I really appreciate you doing the hard work here. Now, we may see our houses start to upgrade at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So they hopefully will have, if I hover over, we're starting to see some get populated with clothing. So they have everything they need. There we go. So upgrade level 2 generates 1 regional wealth per family per month. Unlocks new extensions including artisan workshop. Residential requirements will increase. Okay, so I think we should factor in maybe something else here. Maybe these guys. These will be the ones I upgrade first. So I'm going to go with you. And I'm going to go with you. So we're going to get both of these upgraded. And I think I'll get some kind of clothier or something going in there. That'll be pretty cool. We get our first ones upgraded though. Now, with that in mind, we are going to be running out of timber at some point. So we're going to want to check that. And I also need to factor in that raids come, I think it's every year or 2, but the first year is okay. So we're going to need to make sure we're in a good standing before that. A couple more months, then we'll be back out of the winter. And we'll keep, yeah, we got someone in the logger anyway, so we are really, really good here. Now, I would love to reduce the woodcutter's lodge down or keep it at 1. We'll see how that behaves. Food is obviously going down. But we should see the berry deposit pick back up at some point. And I'm hoping, desperately hoping that these guys can then get going. I don't know whether to go into the development branch of heavy plow so we can start getting bread going. I'm going to try this here. So I'm just going to put crop type fallow until the first year's complete. And then it goes into that. I'm not sure. Okay, what's this? Allows to use a fallow field as a pasture, which rapidly restores lost fertility. Nice. That's pretty cool. So development branches fertilization to do that. And there it is. Let me slow it down. We got a new development point. We are officially a small village. And there are the new houses. So let's see what we can do with these guys. It says now they need 3 different food stores and 2 different clothing supplies. They need a tavern and a church level. Look at this. Enables the production of clothes and cloaks and gamesons. Okay. It enables spears and sidearms. Enables production of tools, spears, and sidearms. Can't do that one yet. Production of shoes. So it converts all inhabitants to artisans, locking them from being assigned to other jobs. Okay, you need to be careful. We're not ready for that one then. They're all artisan-related stuff, aren't they? We kind of want to keep them as farmers for now. We'll keep that in mind, though, on those plots. So I'm just going to reduce the woodcutter down, and I'm going to put 1 in the stone-cutting camp. We're going to start collecting a little bit of stone from that deposit, just so we can ramp that up a little bit. And we're going to need to go then into trade at some point. So public order is reduced now. So we're going to need administrative buildings, aren't we? So we're going to have to get our manor. So we now have the small village, I think. We're a medium village, so we're okay. So all we're missing is the goods. So we need planks and stone, no problem. That we can do. Let's get our upgrade then. So we did go into the trappers. Doubles the amount of meat harvested by hunters and butchers. No. It's probably a bad idea grabbing that first thing, actually. Look at that. Charcoal kiln converts 1 firewood into 2 charcoal. That's twice as efficient. So we need to look at what we can do down in the future here. Basic armaments. Enables blacksmith to craft helmets. Helmets are going to need artisans. Yeah, okay. Don't know what to spend it on, I'll be honest with you guys. Hunters also collect hides from traps. Sheep grazing on the pastures slowly multiply. I think the heavy plow might be good. We need to work on food at this early point. I think we'll grow pretty quickly. So let's go with the heavy plow. And then we'll get that upgraded. So we'll get that highest priority. And then we've just had another family move in. We're up to 28 population here, which is awesome. That does mean we're going to need more stuff here. It looks like we are getting different stalls going in, though. So the marketplace is developing quite nicely here. So at the moment, then, we're going to run out of food if we're not careful. It is February, so hopefully we'll get the berries back. But with these people coming in, that's going to increase the amount we need to make, right? Our windmill has finished too, so I am going to pause that one. And before I do anything else, we're just going to save up the stone, which we have. Beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is reduce that and pause it. They got that pretty quickly. And then I'm going to go back to the saw pit now. I'm going to turn that back on, and we're going to get 1 in the saw pit. And that should give us enough ingredients to complete what we need. Now, let's look to the food stuff here. Plenty of eggs. Berries are good. We're going to get the meat anyway when we've got that. So that we can turn on, right? So hunting limit. Let's say for now we'll put the hunting... do we just leave it as default? I haven't played around with it too much, so we'll go with that. That has its own pantry as well. So we'll start the hunting process. And we'll see how much we can gain from that. And there we go. We have our planks in now. So it is time to build the manor house. And where do we want the manor house? This is a tough decision. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what it kind of does. I think I want it over here with a bit of space just in case. Look at this. Add modules. Walls and gates. Other outer tower. Garrison tower. Okay, we need to cancel this. You can get this. This can become like a whole castle. So it needs its own spot. That's farmland. Oh, man. Up here. Let's rotate around. Let's go right there. And then what we're going to do is get a bit of a wall. It's going to cost us a bit, isn't it? And planks. Right, we're going to start a bit of a thingy there. We're going to have maybe an outer tower at some point. It's going to cost us a fortune on planks. Don't think we're allowed to do that. Right, we'll just get the manor house up to start with, and we'll build the walls around it, because until we've got the structural stuff to do that, we can't get that in just yet. Right, we're officially getting stuff stolen now. So resources stolen by the bandits. 7 tools. Cheeky sods. So we're going to have to deal with them at some point. I might try and get into the diplomacy soon as well. But guys, that is going to be where I end this one out. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you could just hit that thumbs up for me and subscribe if you aren't already. It's a massive, massive help. I hope you're enjoying it. And as always, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon.